Oh, sorry, let me show my little. Anyway, I'll be real. Anyway, remember I live. I'm cold. I ain't got a shirt on. I'll put this little wrinkled shirt on. Anyway. So it gets hot in here and it gets cold. I have my body temperature. I'm gonna talk about the Ben Affleck controversy. First of all, he's one of my favorite actors. Ben Affleck, you're one of my favorite actors. Okay, and as a person of African American descent, also I'm mixed with white as well and American. I'm going to talk to you, man to man. All right, I'm mixed with Caucasian, besides African American and Native American. Many of us African Americans are multiracial. We're not pure black. No matter if we're dark skinned, I'm caramel, or light skinned, fair skinned, whatever. Okay. Um, and many of us do have slave owner from rape, and sometimes there was slave master who did fall in love with the slave woman, black or mulatto, or part Indian black woman, or all three triracial black, mixed black, white, and Native American woman. Okay. And on plantation, like Queen, as Hayley Queen, what happened? She was, in racial affair, should I say? And then also to Sally Hemings, she was a teenager. She was, in love with, she was mulatto. She was in love with Thomas Jefferson. Okay, many of us come from, besides the African part, many of us come from slave owners. Okay, and I don't, you don't have to cover up your slave owner uh, background, your ancestry, because that's part of reality. Many white people, um, if their ancestors came from the Mayflower, they 9 out of 10 had slave owners, especially from the South, slave owners who were in their family tree. They also taught that some of them have African ancestry as well, because many of those who were mulattoes who did look Caucasian passed as white. So my point is to anybody that's white who watches my channel, I could be a long distance cousin of yours if you have slave owner ancestry, okay? But I don't. You don't have to feel guilty because remember that was your ancestors. That wasn't you slave only. And the one thing I guess you feel guilty because many people who do have slave owner ancestry who are white, should I say, do benefit financially because it was an institutional slavery. I mean, remember, my people who were slaves, whether it was part black or pure black, um, was forced out of labor with no pay to work on the plantation or work in the house or whatever. Those white people who owned them, or who also related to them as well, and a mixing going on, they benefit financially, and usually those white people who live today benefit from the slave owners, the ancestors who were slave owners. Okay, while many of us didn't, because he was that one drop mess, and then mulattoes who in triracial people who were slave, or black and Indian people who were slave, Native American people, black and Native American mixed people who were slave, did not benefit from there. I mean, we didn't get for. I don't remember my ancestors getting 40 acres of mule. Okay, so point is that you don't have to feel guilty. You're a liberal. I'm a pro-life liberal myself. Okay, and you don't have to feel guilty, and you should be honest to tell the truth. Because I'm sorry, I had to live the fact, and many people diss me for bringing up my white roots, bringing it up, but I have to accept it for what it is. I can't change the past. That's I'm not a perfect Christian person, but I know there's a verse in Deuteronomy in the Old Testament, and it also says that God changed. I forgot what verse it was. I remember reading it a long time ago in the Bible, but God changes curses no to blessings, and we are the blessings of those curses that happened a long time ago. I'm talking about those of us or people who feel guilty, and I'm gonna let you know this. Many African Americans who check only black, who are not pure black, no matter if they dark skin, light skin, whatever, hair straight, king curly, whatever, blue eye, brown eye, dark, hazel eye, whatever, where they got different features, mix, whatever. They check black. They're more proud of the Indian side, the American side, more than the white side, should I say. But they feel pressured by society because the one drop rule, and with the one drop rule is no longer a law, but you have the black nationalists who are not pure black themselves either, go around with his extreme Afrocentrism and tell them to change and he's persecuted. Because I've been persecuted for claiming multiracial rules as well. Okay, but I'm letting you know, you don't have to feel guilty. I don't feel guilty because I didn't own myself. I do own myself, but I didn't. I was a slave and I wasn't a slave master, and I don't even want to be neither. I don't want to be no slave or a slave master. The only person I want to own, be a slave. I'll be a slave of God. Okay, I'm not perfect, but still, but as a, God gave us free will. I'm a slave to myself. I'm a master of myself because He gives us free will. Okay, I do what I have to do what's right. If I do wrong, it's on my accountability. It's not on someone else's accountability. And what someone else do is not on my accountability. And that same thing goes for you. You are not accountable for what your white ancestors did. Okay, they're dead. As I tell people, folks, yes, we do talk about slavery because it's the racism that's still going on comes from slavery, okay, in the Jim Crow days. But I cannot be hating all white people and hate the white part of myself and then go, what I'm going to do is spit on the slave master's grave when he's dead and gone. He probably roasted in hell or probably, if he was forgiven, in heaven, okay? I can't do nothing about that. I can't go dig him up and beat the crap out of him when he's dead and gone. He did. When he died, that's it, okay? So you don't need to be feeling guilty. And one thing, this is not the first time, I believe, it's not the first time that someone edited someone else's ancestry on this genealogical, so find your roots, whatever that Hearing Gates, Lewis Gates Jr. Has done, because they don't tell you about those DNA tests. This is one thing I'm very offended on, because I'll make sure I miss when they're American. When they had African American Lives, the second version, they had Tina Turner and Morgan Freeman. They did DNA tests, and they did not tell those people that they can get another. Because if I was on the show and I had money, I would go to another company with DNA tests and show how it's inaccurate. DNA tests are hoax. Okay, they can only show a small portion of your roots, two of your ancestors from your mother's side and your dad's side. It did not go all the way back to the time of Jesus. It does not do that. Okay, so I want y'all to understand that. Them people are all partially named besides black and white. And yeah, it is true because when I was talking about my multiracial roots, the first non-black ancestry out of the phone was a Native American. Okay, then at 13, so my grandma revealed that on my dad's side revealed that her grandfather, who on her dad's side, who was part Indian, part black, also mixed with white. His mother was half white English and half black, and her husband was Native American. Okay, so I was I'm mixed with white too. Dang. So I'll go ahead and I assumed that, and I was and found out it was true. Okay, especially when I found people who were darker than me, who had white, they mixed their white grandfathers, whatever. Okay, because besides those who were my shade, Cameron and Lila, who high yellow. Okay, lighter than me. Okay, so then I also found out that there was my grandfather on my dad's side, which is did not mention his mixed background as much, but family members told me that they are mixed, especially from Louisiana. They had French in their family. Then on my mom's side, I was not raised on my mom's side of the family. Okay, my mother did not raise me. So my grandma on my mother's side told me at 13 that her dad's side, dad looked like a white man. And they kept, once again, they kept it a secret. But as they realized, because my grandma on my dad's side was so gossipy, go talk about my business on my mom's side of the family, that I was so proud of mentioning that, because that's when the 1990s people started talking about multiracial identity, and you had these biracial people coming on TV. You had Mariah Carey, who's triracial, because she's also Hispanic, besides black and white. You had all these people. You had Shamar Moore, who's just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Shamar Moore. He was one of my role models. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You had Tyson Beckford, dark skin. He darker than me with Asian eyes. He part Chinese and part Panamanian, part Jamaican, Afro-Jamaican. So yeah, all these people came out there roots and they're mixing and everything. Okay, so that actually gave me some pride. I said I shouldn't cover this up. Why would I should cover? Because it seemed to me more people are mixing and stuff going on, and I was in love with a white girl at the time, a girl who also was with Pacific Islander and Native American, but people saw us white and she was blonde and blonde. So I was like, why should I cover this up? I'm not, I'm mixed. So that's where I got this mixed pride from, especially the multiracial movement was getting big in the 90s. So that's where I got that from. In the 90s, I love the one of the best thing of my days were the 1990s. Okay, 80s were all right, but especially Reagan days. I'm not a Reagan person. I can't stand Reagan and Bush. That's why when Bill Clinton came in, people was talking about race. You heard it on television, on talk shows. You heard it everywhere you go because. I mean, that's what comes, the stumbling block that comes away when I try to make decisions on my own. I got to do a race, somebody brings up race. So I had to talk about this. So I talk about a lot. I speak Spanish. I did 3 years in high school. I also sing in Tejano music or sing other Latin music, and people try to use race to knock me down there. So of course I gotta talk about this issue. So that's why. And I'm, yes, the people were so ashamed to talk about the white part of the family because they heard some masters rape someone ever, and also reaching my grandfather on my great grandfather. My great grandfather who still live on my mother's side, my grandma on my mom's side, they mixed with French. So of course, and there was a lot of Creoles, dark and light ones around me in my neighborhood. So I was like, why should I love this? And then, even the parish when I joined the kind of parish I went to, there's mostly Creoles there, dark ones and light ones there too. So that gave me some pride. Like, dang, I shouldn't cover this up, man. I'm gonna have to get y'all. Y'all could be ashamed because they was living, I guess, living in the hood, and folks was ashamed. But like, men and those doggone so-called Negroes ain't pure either. But when a loyal dog, yeah, they got some white blood in their family tree. As they football on Africans and they name it Shaka Zulu or something. No offense to any African saying, then they can talk about this people claim mixed hairs. You know what I'm saying? Because none of them ain't pure black. Especially it was owned by white people. They're not pure black. Some mixed had the reason why it happened. The reason why interracial rapes are either master and slave, female slave and male master relationship happened is because they was trying to make more babies, mulatto babies, to have more slaves on the plantation due to the one drop rule. Okay, yes, the one drop rule became a official rule in the Jim Crow days, but it began in slavery. Okay, yes, there were some mulattoes that was free. But not every mulatto was not free, because remember the child, especially Virginia State, when this Virginia was the first to actually bring slavery in. But I think Jamestown, Virginia was the first slave job. But anyway, the state of Virginia had made a law saying because yeah, they were indentured servants. Okay, indentured servants were white people who were poor. They were like slaves too, and they was allowed to marry black people. There was also that mixing between them as well. But they stopped doing it, especially when they got scared when the mulattoes were looking more Caucasian, and then some of them was not all mulattoes were Caucasian, but there was those who did, especially that kept on mixing with white people. And if their mother was a free person, was a white person who was a additional server, or their mother was white, and then the dad was a black slave, they can be free. But the black woman who has the mulatto slave, that mulatto was a slave because of the mother's state of the mother. That's where the one drop rule come in. Okay, so anybody who want to oh, we got one drop black blood that makes you whole, blah blah this, you actually loving your master slave. No, I don't love slavery, and I don't want nobody being a slave to me. Okay, and I don't want to be a slave to them. Okay, so I want you to understand that. That's why I bring up the white part of my rules besides the name break and the black, because I bring up all of it, okay? Because it's the truth who I am. And white people who don't like I met some white people. Let me tell you something. Y'all sit there and say, well, you trying to kiss up to white people. No, I'm not, because there's white people who look at me crazy. And I looked at them crazy. Well, don't get mad because your ancestors slayed my ancestors and then mixed in me and mixed in my bloodline because you didn't want to mix that. You know what I'm saying? It's reality. We are the products of the white and the black mixing that happened in slavery. So that don't, that you should be mad at your ancestors, not mad at me. But yes, I had white people who I stopped being friends because they didn't care. Because I'm not, one thing about music, everybody knows Zacchaeus don't live for nobody but Zacchaeus. Okay, I'm not here to praise nobody's bubble. You know what I'm saying? Because I done it before. If you live for somebody else, you're gonna be miserable. But if you live for yourself, you're gonna be happy. You're gonna love being you, and you're gonna do what you wanna do, and you're gonna care what anybody say. That's what I live by. As a liberal, that's hey, just like Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck, he's liberal, okay? So I'm not here to please people. I'm not a people pleaser. I mean, I'm trying to people pleaser when I'm at work doing what they want us to do for pay. But you think I come home be happy with that? No, sometimes I want to school for entrepreneurship. So anyway, point is, I have dealt with people who disagree, who just mad at me for claiming mixed heritage. Well, they want us to be full-blown Africans, but that's not. We're not full-blooded African people. I mean, can y'all get that in your head? We have mixed ancestry. We came from that. If you come from mixed ancestry, you're not pure anything. Point blank. That's why we have different shades in our families. Not everybody's the same doggone shade, the same hair texture, the same complexion, the same eye color. Okay? They say when you go to a so-called, we're not pure black, but this is what they say. Go to a black family, you see all different colors of us. Yeah, because what happened in slavery. So if y'all, the white people who don't like to hear that, that's your problem. I'm not here to place you. And it's one thing goes that, and if you do have slave master ancestry, I had to live with that too. Okay? When I look in the mirror, I don't see a dog chocolate bean. I see a camel skin man. And I know that camel skin come from the result of what happened back in the day. The slave master and the Native American in my ancestry. Okay? Besides the African. Okay? So I accept that. I just accept it. I don't like what happened, but once again, go back to what was said in Deuteronomy, that God changes blessings, curses into blessings. I'm the blessing that came out of that mess. Hello? And I move on. Okay? So, and going back to Ben Affleck, y'all, Ben Affleck, and any white person who watches my channel, deal with it. It happened in the past. It's not you slaving nobody. It's them. Okay? Okay, I understand it's that white guilt. And many African Americans who got white ancestry have white guilt. One thing I get in before I close on this video, it's so funny that many Afrocentric people who are black and endowed nationalists want to control and tell us people of African American descent what to do, and they talk about bringing a slave master or bringing a mixing in our background is like contribute to the master, whatever. But they act just like slave masters when they try to tell us how to do, well, how to wear our hair, how to wear our clothes, how to act, who to marry, who to date, always X, Y, Z. When we supposed to fight for freedom, and we as individuals choose to do what we want to do. And if you don't like my decision, go by, because I'm not here to live your decision. I live for me. That's what we're fighting for, not to have somebody who have black roots in their family trying to tell us what to do. No, we ain't trying to have no Coco black slave master. I don't want nobody as a slave master in my life. Unless you're God. That's it. But that's what I'm going to say is that they do act like just like I'm sorry, the Nation Islam, the Panther, all of us, back in the day, in the new one, they all try to tell people what to marry, who to who you get out my way. Shoot, I live for me. You gotta live for yourself, y'all. You gotta live for you. I'm an individualist person. I'm not a collective person. Once they collectivism is slavery, and they act just like slave masters, just using that Afrocentrism as a cover up. If they truly love their people, do whatever they want to do. That's what you love your people to do. If you want to have the same freedom as other folks have, you want to do what they want to do. You don't worry about what other people do. So that's why I had to bring it out. But us, many African Americans have that white guilt because we have an ancestor that enslaved people. But remember, I say again, God changes, make a blessing, make a curse, make a blessing come out of a curse. Okay. And I forgot in Deuteronomy, I found that in Deuteronomy, but it's true. Something bad, they say the good, with the good it come out the bad. You know what I'm saying? And when a bad thing happens, the good comes out. And St. Paul says it in Romans. So I'm just letting you know that I know that thank the Lord for revealing that to me. I don't worry about that guilt because I didn't slave anybody and I wasn't a slave. Thank God I wasn't a slave. Oh Jesus. Okay. And I don't want to own nobody. I can't be pure. All of there was some mixed and some black folks who did black or mulatto, whatever, that who were free, who did own slaves. I heard that too, and some Native Americans as well. But it wasn't the majority. The majority of slave owners were white. Okay, and I just no, I worry about me. Okay, So point is, I'm just letting and once again, stop having that guilt. Okay. Since you came from it, start fighting against racism. That's what you gotta do. That's what you have to do. Fight against racism. okay? And Ben Affleck, you one of my favorite actors, okay? I'm letting you know. You want, and even though I go ahead and admit it, I have a lot of role models of the different shades and colors and mixtures. And besides Vin Diesel, he's my one of my favorite actors as well. Um, you one of my favorite actors too, Ben Affleck. Okay, uh, I like the fact you would date Jennifer Lopez. You know what? Anybody know? I love Jennifer Lopez. Boricua. And I love Selena, especially before she died. So when I was happy that Jennifer Lopez played the role. But anyway, as a person who admire you and who actually hope to see you in Hollywood, since I am inspired bilingual singer, bilingual singer and actor and model, I hope to see you in Hollywood soon, in the future. And I'm letting you know you don't have to have that gift. And once again, I mentioned one of your Coco Black friends who's from America. I said Coco because we're not pure black, have white DNA in them. So they had that's why they have a cover up. But yeah, it's so funny. They cover up their roots, but they admire somebody who is, I mean, I said all of them, I said some, who is very light skinned or who do have curly hair or whatever, light straight hair. I'm letting you know that goes on. And it's so funny. Well, it didn't come from the African, too much on the African side. So why y'all so covering up that they're white part, but you so happy to have a lighter shade? Even I have a family member who, when I raised up my arm and we was in the swimming pool, I'm not gonna say her name because she don't watch videos. But my cousin, she don't know I have a YouTube video. But anyway, she she was said, "Oh, you," and she's dark skinned. "Oh, you so light skinned because it was darker here, but it was lighter here." And so, but yeah, when earlier that day I mentioned that white ancestor, that person who like white man in our family tree, my grandfather's grandfather on his dad's side. Oh, that was a white man. We had to, me and her mother had to correct her. Excuse me, he was mixed, and he was mixed with French. He wasn't pure white. He just looked white. So you want to cover it and look like us white man like it's a bad thing. You know, that's your great grandfather. Why are you so ashamed of that? Okay. And one thing, I'm glad they had Creole friends. Um, I learned about that. Meaning that the French did intermarry with the slaves. They were slave masters who was French. But let me close this out. Many French people in Louisiana who were immigrants. Okay, not the Cajuns. I know it's a different scenario. Those who was French from France did not like the slavery going on in the United States, and also German men as well. German and French immigrant men did marry and mated by choice with African American women and mulatto women and triracial Black Indian women and whatever. Okay, um, many of them will go buy a slave from the Anglo-Saxon people, especially from northern Louisiana, and then they'll let the slave go free. And if the black person who used to be a slave who wanted to work, they paid them because remember, slave was a non-cost labor. Okay, so you was working for free by force. So yes, the French men also, that's why they had the Creoles of color was all those who were mulattoes or who were descendants from the French, also mixed with the Americans as well, so they wasn't just mulatto, it was triracial, I say, the French and the black and the native as well. That was also because Indian comes in as well. The American comes in as well when it comes to Creole, besides the French and the African. And what happened was that many of the Frenchmen, if anybody knows, I mentioned in my video before, crazy Frenchman. Um, Crazy Frenchman is a term that Anglo-Saxon people, those who are mixed with English, even my great grandfather, no, my great grandmother, excuse me, on my dad's side, my grandmother's great grandmother, should I say, who's mulatto, who came from Louisiana. She was part English. Anyway, nothing knocked them down, besides French. I'm also mixed with English, so nothing knocked the English people down from people descendants of English, but the Anglo-Saxon people who up north, mainly from Louisiana, did not like Frenchmen and German, but most of the French, because the majority of the French over the German, because they was friendly towards black people. Not all. I'm talking the ones who immigrants. Those who immigrants, they married black women. They also had children by choice. They also gave their children's benefits. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you have French people, French Creole of color, as free people. not slaves. Okay, in Louisiana, Louisiana was a different country, should I say, compared to the rest of the South. Okay, um, so that's and also learned that there was the first quote African American newspaper came from New Orleans. As I read it in the FrenchCrolls.com, reading about that, I said that well, I should cover it up. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that meaning and also when they I think after Louisiana purchase, I think when Louisiana became part of the Confederacy, the men, the mulattoes who free ones as well, ran to Haiti, ran to Mexico, um, ran to Cuba, and I think the Dominican Republic, I think also Jamaica as well, to get away from slavery. Okay, that's why even some there was one documentary, I mean, one site, I don't know how they closed it down. Back in 2003, I found out that many, especially in Veracruz in Mexico, many of the Mexicans had French names, and they wonder what the French names. When they did research, those French men was actually French Creole people, mulatto people who came from Louisiana, mixed with black, yes, of course. They came to Louisiana and the married Mexicans down there in Veracruz. So learning about that, I was so happy to learn about that. I learned about that they had during the slavery time, many French Creole men did have businesses. Okay, um, so like when it happened Katrina, well, Hurricane Katrina, many people there's a lot of history Hurricane Katrina. I mean in New Orleans, and remember reading about no, I'm not into voodoo. I love Marie DeVoe. Okay, Angela Bassett portrayed her. She was also part French, Creole, and part Black and Native American. I think I heard. And read about that. I also like the fact that I read about the Creole culture that they was trying to save. Because I even petitioned at Job Corps to have the Vatican to save the first African American Catholic Church down there in Louisiana, and it was over there in Louisiana. It got damaged to the Katrina, and I think the diocese in New Orleans was trying to close it down, and we had petitioned it to keep it open. Um, I think I forgot the church called, but I also petitioned that to keep that church alive. I think it's still open. I think yeah, and but also I mean it has a lot of history. When Katrina happened, it opened. I mean, I'm not saying bad was it bad thing, good thing come out. A lot of folks started learning about New Orleans, started learning about the culture, learning about the Creole culture. And that's one thing I told myself: if there was jobs in Louisiana, which a lot of Creoles even begin today, left Louisiana and like came to Texas. That's how I came in this world. They married black Texans in here too. Um, they were looking for work. Okay. They went to even LA and Los Angeles. We got Creoles down there as well. Hello to my Creoles down there in Louisiana. Michelle A, who's married to Suge Knight, she's a Creole. Um, so point is, it's a lot of us. When we went to other places to look for work, and the one reason I'm bringing all this is a lot of history that's not been told. We've not been told in school. One in Texas history and education history is the one from Texas is stupid and is inaccurate and racist, I say. So learning about that stuff outside of the classroom, it gave me a lot of pride of who I am today. That's why I'm very proud to claim my multiracial roots. I don't have no shame about it. And reading about the Creole history online, it gave me a sense that something was missing in my life that I need to know about. And if anybody wanted to know about Creole and French Creole history, you can go to FrenchCreoles.com. FrenchCreoles.com, which is spell French and then Creoles with an S.com. And so you can read about that and learn about our history, our roots, our traditions, all that other stuff. Because Beyonce's a Creole as well. We know all about that, so you can know what we're about and understand that we have a culture history. That it's been culture genocide has happened due to that one drop mess. Okay, and the colors in our families and stuff, saying the people that I want to manage, that mess came in. It's also caused the culture of genocide because you have some Creoles who don't look quote unquote stereotypical Creole, should I say, who don't claim Creole roots, but it's in their family tree, and they've been told not to embrace that, not to accept that, not to identify that because they look like the color is a mess. So I'm just letting you know That's the whole reason why. So learning about that, about my family tree, learning that it's Creole roots in my family, learning about, I would love to go to Mardi Gras. Trust me, I would love to go to Mardi Gras and learn about the, also in Mardi Gras there's the Black Indians down there. They dress up as anything else over there too as well. And I mix up as the Black Indian Coast Creole is also part in the American as well. So anyway, but point is learning about those things. It's just it gets me all excited and know that I should not cover it up. What the point of covering it up for? I'm not covering up for nobody. If I want to cover it, it's for my own choice, but I'm not going to cover it all. Learning about the Creole roots, learning about that was make me excited. Okay, and learning that there was businesses, what they call, one they call it the black owned businesses and stuff, Creole owned businesses in Louisiana. Learning about the first newspaper, learning about that, that got me excited. I said, no, I'm not covering a doggone thing out. Okay, so I'm just letting you know, not to change the subject about the Ben Affleck situation, y'all, but it's letting you know I would never cover that nothing. Okay, and then two, even though that there was a bad thing happened, I said blessings come out of it. Um, I always the European countries. And funny, speaking of that, I would let you know. I never thought that I was British or mixed with English, but I used to imitate their accents when I was 8 and 9 years old, watching VH1 and British rock like the Beatles, David Bowie, uh what's it called? What's his name? What's their name? The Rolling Stones. I used to imitate their accents and then I know I was mixed with Brit. I never forget when I was in Disney World in Florida and I was 12 years old. I started talking like a British person, and then I found out that same year later on, my grandma, my dad's side telling me that I mixed with British English, and I said, that's funny, that's my roots. And one thing, when I did the Christmas, I was playing Topper in the Christmas Carol at my high school. My Hispanic choir director, because I had choir in theater arts in high school, and my junior, he said, "You have a good British accent." On my head, thinking it's my roots, dude. Okay, and when I should have told her, it's mi sangre y mi raíces. You know what I'm saying? It's my blood and my roots. That's because my great grandmother, Grandma Charlotte, that's her name, and she was part English and part black. So point is, I'm just letting you know. Um, and every time I hear soccer teams, whatever, something going on in Europe, and it's English. I mean, it's England, United Kingdom, or you want to call it Great Britain, United Kingdom, England, whatever. And France, I get excited. Say that's my teams. That's my other homeland besides Africa and North America. So okay, okay. So that's I'm just letting you know. So I just go along and I don't care what anybody say because I live for me. Once again, so Ben Affleck, just let you know, don't feel bad about. I mean, just saying those are not your sins about what your ancestors did. That's you're a different individual from them. Okay, so go ahead and be honest. And then two, um, and like I said, this is the first time I feel that PBS ever added someone else's ancestry because we did the American, the American side of the African American celebrities who were actually mixed on their site. They're not telling that the DNA test don't tell every detail. They only show a small portion of the roots. Everybody go search on YouTube DNA hosts, and you'll get all the information. All right, that's all I have to say. Because those people are like Tina Turner. Her mother said her mother was Native American, so it don't make no sense to say your DNA test on Native American and you when they don't tell every detail of your DNA test. But you knew when she knew her mother, her mother was Native American. Okay, I don't think that she'll lie and say her mother was Native American. Okay, it was way before the African American PBS back in 1993, and it was taped in 1991. Tina Turner did a special on Disney World, Disney Channel, and I remember watching doing it. It was playing a lot since that movie with Love After it came on, and I knew Tina Turner was white. I already knew that because it was bizarre. But when she said her mother said when she mentioned I'm Mr. Cherokee, and her mother came on and she said my mother is Cherokee. So I don't think she would lie and say that. Okay, yeah, there was people who would say they're not mixed white, but like I said, like me, I found out that besides white, it was Native American. It was all three: black, white, Native American. And I do believe that someone is lying on DNA tests, and then also too, the DNA tests don't show a small portion of your roots. Only of your ancestors from your family, your mother and your father, not all the ancestors in your roots. That's one thing that I did not tell them that. And because they went to the DNA company, it would show them, and they would have different results. You know what I'm saying? I can go to African American Ancestry, show my DNA results, and go to another DNA company, Ancestry Online, Ancestry by DNA, and some other companies, and guess what? I get all these different results. That's how it's a hoax. Because one of my DNA can show one of this part of my roots, the other DNA test can show another part of roots that I don't know about. And so I'm letting you know, those are hoax. They just doing it for your money. And if I say they, and them celebrities are rich, they need to go to the DNA test and find out why, and then they also need to tell them that your DNA test does not show every detail. Okay, it doesn't. It does not show every detail. It shows some truth, but not all of it, should I say? And when I say some truth, because yeah, that shows some part of your rules you will not know about, but when you go to another DNA company, it will show you another results. You see what I'm saying? Another results. So I'm saying, yeah, no, that's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? And like they should never got their hairs, fraud like that because they are DNA tests. They showed that they're on Native American side. You go another country test, it might say Native American. It might say you went to another another African tribe. And you find out from another African tribe, from another DNA company. I'm just saying, that's how it's a hoax, and them people are there for your money. It's a small portion of your roots for 100, 200, some dollars. And I thought about doing that. If I said something told me, I'm not gonna do that because see, that's a hoax. And when I found out, I Googled DNA hoax and found that doggone video about DNA hoax, and I said, yeah, I was right the whole doggone time. Anyway, what about have a nice day?